Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Jyoti, Business Development Manager for Canarys Automations Private Limited. Hope I'm audible and everyone can view my screen. If not, kindly type in your concerns if any. Looks like I'm audible to everyone. Okay, looks like I'm audible to everyone. So let's proceed ahead with the session. Today we are presenting Plugging for Cloud, Right or Wrong by Ashish Sharma. Before we get started, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the conversation box in your Skype control panel. If required, I'll bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end. So, can everybody see our screen? Canarys Plugging for Cloud, right or wrong? Am I audible to everyone, and can everyone view my screen? Thank you for the response. Before we proceed with the session, let me take a few minutes of your time and introduce Canarys. We are a leading IT service provider company headquartered in Bangalore, and we have been in the IT industry from past 27 years and have been a trusted advisor for many Fortune 500 ITES companies in India and abroad. Established in 1988, we have grown consistently over the years and have 80% repeat business from an existing customer, which showcases our maturity and customer satisfaction. We have highly skilled management team and dedicated professionals. We have our offices spread across globally in USA, Europe, and Singapore. Our services are MS Azure Consulting. We offer completely free consulting services on Azure like cloud assessment, cloud migration, cloud technical support and maintenance, SQL Azure Consulting, mobile solutions, application development on platforms like Android, iOS, Windows Mobile. We provide complete end-to-end solutions from application building to launch and adoption. MS Dynamics services. We offer services on MS Dynamics, NAV, AX, and CRM. Our services on these include implementation and support services, version upgrade, add-ons, data migration, Dynamics integrated mobile apps, application development and maintenance. We have successfully delivered numerous projects on various technologies and verticals, be it the retail, healthcare, hospitality, education, and many more. Consulting services on Microsoft TFS like version migration, upgrades, ALM best practices, release automation process, deployment and tech support, hardware sizing and commission. So that's a brief introduction about our company. To know more about us, kindly visit our official site www.ecanarys.com. So now without further delay, I request Mr. Ashish Sharma to take over the session.
Thank you, Jyoti. I appreciate the introduction. It's great to be speaking with you all. Just I move on. I would like to say I'm getting couple of concerns regarding some are able to view the screen, some are unable to get the audio. So just to trouble you a small a bit, if you are experiencing any such kind of issues, please try to rejoin. So if you still have any issues, you can push your concerns on the conversation box. My colleague Vinay would be in touch with you and try to resolve all your concerns. So, so we'll start with the session. So I welcome you all to the cloud scenario or to the cloud webinar, the first webinar by Canvas Automations in terms of cloud. That is nothing but plugging for cloud is a right option or a wrong one. So in this particular webinar, we'll try to cover and we'll try to introduce to what basically a cloud is. And moving ahead, we'll be having a small glimpse what is Microsoft Azure, which is the leading cloud provider throughout the globe. So just to make it sure, managers, practice heads, directors, VPs, and CXOs, it would be a well-defined, a good option to attend this webinar and a lot of good queries if your company, if your organization is planning to move to cloud, all the questions would be answered in this particular webinar. So myself, Ashish Sharma, working with Canvas as a senior technical consultant. So I'm having a good experience from working last 3 years. I'm consulting with Microsoft Corporation in terms of cloud platform for Microsoft Azure. I am very much good experiencing Windows Server, System Center suite of Microsoft. Even I have a good experience working on VMware and ESXi server in terms of virtualization concept. So I have been consulted for several major companies, even multinational companies. So in terms of predictability, high-end deployment, in terms of POCs, and I have seen a lot of challenges and help the customers to have a seamless deployments in their infrastructure, either it's in terms of migrations or in terms of any of the steps or a kind of technical thing. I even take online sessions and in-depth trainings for the folks or the employees for the particular companies or like that. So myself is still trying to learn or on a way to learn, and still I am doing my research in terms of cloud platform. So today I will try my level best to just answer your queries. Is it right to move to cloud or still it is not a good time? So agenda for the today's webinar will be introduced and we'll have a basic lookout what basically a cloud is, and then we'll introduce Microsoft Azure as I said. So just starting with, we'll look what basically a cloud computing is. What do you mean by this particular technology? This is a technology which is considered as the top scale today. When I say top scale, if you compare with other technology, either it's a big data or a Hadoop or an analytics, whatever it is, or either it's in terms of developers front or whatever technology, either it's in terms of .NET, open source. So the cloud computing has a greater impact in today's IT scenario. Later, we'll be going and talking about Microsoft Azure, the Microsoft product, and how it basically differentiates with your own on-premise environment, even with the other cloud vendors. And at last, we'll end up a session by having some Q&A. If you still have any queries and if you want to, you can post it on the conversation box and we'll try our best to answer it all. So the cloud and Microsoft Azure, what the correlation we trying to do? When we talk about cloud, so you must be knowing today the world is moving into a mobile first and cloud first technology. So when I say mobile first, I'm here not trying to represent or not, I'm not here trying to push that, okay, boss, it is a particular mobile device. Either you are using a Nokia device or a Samsung device or a Windows device or an Android device. When I talk about a mobile first, it is something I am relating or correlating with n number of devices. When I say today we have a lot of devices in different sizes. Either you take it as a mobile device, either you take it as a tab, either you take it as a your TV or a computer or even a server, whatever I talk about. I am here mean to say when I say mobile first, it is something I am talking about device first. And when you talk about device first, you want the services to be done. Suppose you have a particular mobile phone, you have a particular application running on a mobile phone. So when I talk about that application, it is something a service. So when I talk about service, it is something which you deployed on a device and you are trying to resolve your pain. When I talk about server, you try to deploy the services on a server which can resolve the IT issues, which can administer the IT. So when I talk about cloud first, it is nothing but to provide services. So when I talk about the technology is moving, the IT companies are moving, or whatever sector the company is, they mean to say we work on device. Today we are in a concept, we use the devices provided by the company. Even we use the devices, we bring our own devices to the premises. So it's like we are not into the old era where we used to say that boss, you if you want to work with us, you have to be to a specific network, you have to be in a specific LAN, you have to sit in front of a specific system and you have to work around. Today this is not a scenario. Today we are mostly focused on any of the device I would like to have a service. Previously, if you have a particular application, we only used to have an online shopping sitting on a laptop. But today we even have do an e-commerce transaction or any of the online shopping sitting on a laptop itself. So that's why here we mean to say we are moving in a system which is nothing but a mobile first and a cloud first technology. So what basically you mean by cloud computing? So when I say cloud computing, so there are three types of cloud computing when I talk about. It is something infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. When I talk about infrastructure as a service, when you are only worried when you want to control full infrastructure. When I say on demand self service, I mean to say whatever you want. Suppose I have a particular server. What traditionally happens? You have a server which is managed by your IT team. You have a development team which is working to deploy or develop your particular application. So developer team is unaware of how to host a particular application. They only concerned about or they only focus on boss. We only want to publish this application. We have already developed this application. You take this particular application in hostess. That's it they are concerned about. Only that's they want. They are not worried about. So when I say a person or a company which want to have a full control, even they want a control over the infrastructure, even they want a control over their application, even they want a control, means if they are looking to control the full infrastructure in and out, so that we can adopt it on a cloud in terms of infrastructure as a service. So basically when I say infrastructure service, it is a well good suite or a wonderful suite in terms of hosting on a cloud if it is something an IT team wants to move. If suppose you want to have your own data center. So when I correlate cloud, it is something on-demand self-service which provide you a broad network access, means you have been allowed with a wonderful opportunities or an n number of regions where you can go and you can host your application. When I talk about rapid elasticity, so suppose today if I say industry should move to cloud, I'm just saying them to move to a public network. I'm saying them to take your on-premise server or transfer your on-premise application, or I will rather take it as migrate. So when I say, it's like it gives you an option that boss, either you keep your database on your on-premise and you only can take your application to the cloud. There I come and saying that you can set up your own hybrid connectivity. So if an IT industry want to do all kind of stuff with full management of your storage, full managing your compute, full management of your networking part, it is recommended to host your application in terms of infrastructure as a service. Now moving ahead, the second thing is you want to build. You do not worry about your application. I mean to say, sorry, you only worry about your application. You do not worry. Suppose take a small cap or a medium cap companies. What basically they do, they have a well-defined and open source platform softwares or an application or something like that. So they take their application, just consider a mobile application. We basically have a different devices today. We have an Android, we have a Windows, we have a Java, we have a Node.js. So we have a different types of devices today. So when I talk about devices or a platform, we deployed that application to work on different devices. So we take that application to third party vendors, say that GoDaddy, which helps you in hosting that application. So when I talk about hosting an application, so you are again going to someone else to host your application, means you are only worried about your application. You only want to control your application, nothing else. You are not worried about what is running, what IS is running, or an Apache is running, on a web, which server is running, either it's a Tomcat 8 version or a Tomcat 7 version. You do not worry. You are saying, boss, I have this platform, I have Java, I have .NET, I have Node.js, whatever it is. I have PHP, I have Python, what you want to bring any of the platform application you have, it would be the cloud responsibility to host it, work out and make it available and fulfill your requirements. When you are concentrating to consume, when you again you do not want to opt, you are only focused on your services. So the best example would be your Office 365. The again I will talk about Dynamics Excel by Microsoft. Even take Google Drive or a OneDrive with Microsoft. You are only worried about that particular service. It's mean to store a data, to retrieve a data. That's it. You are not worried about what that software is built on, how the architecture is working, where that application has been created, or where that particular application is hosted. You are unaware of. You do not want to. So there I come into an action says that, boss, if you want to implement, have a software as a service. That is nothing but these three covers all the three types of cloud computing platform. When I say three types, which is the Azure leads, if you go and check out the different cloud competitors, there are a lot of cloud competitors sitting in a market. I would not be interested here on a first session to take out a name, but still there are a lot of cloud competitor. Yes, I can say there are some who are you who puts their expertise saying that we are the best in IaaS. There are who says that we are good in something. But when I say Azure, it is where you win. It's like either you have a IaaS scenario, either you have a PaaS scenario, or you have a SaaS scenario. We will make it work. The best thing and the good thing about Azure is it is something hybrid connectivity. As I told, if something government organization or a banking sector, they are literally afraid of. Even I can, being a Microsoft person, I can say that, boss, this is a well-defined security. but still some people are afraid. Why they are afraid? There's something lack of awareness, lack of knowledge, lack of knowing things about the technology. So when I say this particular scene, so you can keep your database on your on-premise and you can just concentrate to take your application in cloud and just link it within 5 or 6 simple clicks. So there basically a cloud plays a role. It's like you have a variety data centers created by Microsoft, managed by Microsoft. You have an option. Just consider an e-commerce website. Why I have to invest every time, go into a different data center and create a server, build a server, manage a server and dump it. So when we talk about cloud computing, it is something which is providing you a virtual space, a way to run virtual servers in the cloud with the full control. Never depend on a third party. Never depend on a third party. Just own your own data center being on cloud. You can host any application, any custom application within a single click. When I talk about cloud, you have to only pay for the resources that will be look in couple of minutes. What basically the Azure plays and how it differentiates. So as I'm saying here, so I have given you a brief introduction or a brief overview introducing about Azure. So what basically Azure is something a platform or a cloud platform or a cloud product for, provided by Microsoft. And when I say it's a cloud platform, it has varied number of services. It provides services in terms of cloud. When I say either it's a compute services or a storage services or a network services or an analytics services or you are opting for any kind of services, that is what you come up with this problem, Azure may brings a solution. In my entire life cycle working with an unnumber of projects, I have been with around 20-25 plus clients and I have literally seen there are very rare the cases are, there are very rare problems which Azure do not clears out, where Azure do not solves out. There is a very rare case of those scenarios. Azure tries to play an important role, whatever the expect it is, whatever the sector companies are. It's not Azure is only for an IT industry or an electrical industry or a technology industry. Even a mechanical company or a production hub or a cement industry, whatever Azure comes up front scale and says that boss, I am with you, just try your best, what you want to do, I will try my best to push it, I will try in terms of cost, in terms of manageability, in terms of hosting, in terms of whatever it is, I would be try to provide you, I would try to make it wonderful for you. So as I already told, it is something which is flexible, it is something which is open, and it is something which is solid. When I say flexibility, it is something, a good example I will give, it would be like setting up your hybrid connectivity. So when I say high or variable scalable requirements, suppose you have an application which is something which requires a high availability or a scalability. Just consider an e-commerce website. Just consider a Flipkart website. You do not know today. Suppose in a traditional environment, you know that okay, this particular application, this is particular running on this particular server, which would be accompanying at this particular amount of load. You know that morning 9 o'clock my office opens and people goes to the office and till 5 o'clock in the evening, 6 o'clock in the evening, my particular website or an application would be coming up with a huge number of crowd or a huge number of users. But when I talk about the off time, saying that midnight or mostly I'm not concerned of, because that is a people would be relaxing in their home and like that. So when I talk about those scenarios, it's like just to manage, just to load balance that particular application, you deploy 2 or 3 or 4 servers in your on-premise and you invest your cost, you do a maintenance, you do a management, you buy licenses. So a lot of things are there. So when I say you are anyway, so in night also those servers are running. which is not required. In night, only two servers can work out and make it possible, and your application would be performing really very well. But still, just for 8 hours, you have implemented 8 servers, 4 servers, and you are continuing that location to a 24 into 7 into 365. So when I talk about Azure, it is something flexible. It works on auto scalability feature. Boss, you can fix your time, saying that if my instance or a CPU read or write or a data input or data out or a read operation or a write operation, read write, whatever it is, if it is meeting this particular threshold, well and good. If it is not, automatically create an instance for me. So basically, I mean to say it's like you really have a good solution. If I can say, suppose just fix that, boss. If my CPU write is more than 50%, raise an instance. So if the CPU write is more than 50% from 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, okay, just for that 30 minutes gap, you would be having an instance and you would be really paying for that only 30 minutes. When I say the CPU again come down below 50%, it is something you really save your cost. You really save that instance. You really save the manageability. Open when I so bring any platform application. Either it's a .NET, Java, JDK, .js, either you are working on some PHP or whatever it is. Azure never. When I talk about different cloud vendors, it is something they focus on. Boss, I can only take this. You have an Oracle database to run. You have an IBM vSphere to run. I mean to say WebSphere or a different IBM databases. Oracle, either you want to implement a Cisco firewall or a Juniper firewall, whatever you want to integrate with Azure, each and every vendors, each and every third party companies we support. So that's why mostly Azure is not restricted to either it's in any platform or a technology or a vendor. We have tried, I mean to say Microsoft has tried its best integrating around 10,000 plus third party vendors which can provide Azure customers a well defined or a required service in a seamless way. And even when I talk about in terms of technology, and when I say solid, yes, you can trust. This is a cloud which you can trust because it does not have any security breach. I can assure it is something a cloud environment provided by Microsoft which has a well defined suite, which has a good layer of security. Either you want to encrypt your data, either encryption, decryption, either you are talking about a 5 and 12-bit encryption or a 256 AES encryption or a SHA-512 for I mean to say SHA-256, what basically the security we want. We have a lot of good certification, security certification, and we are leading in a Gartner review scaling. We have been top from last 2 years in terms of cloud provider throughout the globe. So when I talk about we have a good reputation into a market, and for India, as this particular webinar is mostly we are focusing on the India region. So we are still a good way we are going, and we have already started a good way of implementation, and Microsoft is really working hard to push this particular cloud technology, the Azure technology, and it is simply, I can say, it is really differentiating it with the different cloud vendors. So it's not about, as I already told, so we are not specific to anything. Either you talk about compute and networking, you talk about web and mobile, you talk about data and analytics, either you talk about storage or backup or a median content delivery or a hybrid integration, and the most important thing, Active Directory services. I don't think so in this particular slide which you all are seeing, I am missing out some services. Just look around at something I just like to review. I want to just showcase the power of Azure. I just want to let you know we are never stuck, or we are not stopped to some of things. It's like either you want to have an SSL certification layer, you want to have an Android support, you want whatever it is. Either you want to have your BizTalk services, custom applications, whatever it is. You want to have set a notification channel, you want to have a multi-factor authentication in place, what you want a developer to come into an action, push their application directly from Visual Studio or the team services. You want direct integration with Team Foundation server. You want to implement SharePoint. You want to implement SQL Server, Oracle database, whatever you want to. We have a lot of bunch of things. We have a lot of, as I told, we have around 3000 plus services. It's your wish, it's your thing, what you want to run on cloud, what you want to run on Azure. And these are the numbers which you can see how Azure is really progressing into the market and how it has its own command. Just imagine, it is something greater than 10,000 we are receiving a new Azure customers every week. And just imagine the number of SQL database. All these numbers are just with an updated survey done by Gartner. It's like, just imagine 12 lakhs of servers and 30 trillion storage objects. Thus, you can imagine the numbers. Greater than 2 million of developers really work on Azure, develop their application and host their application on cloud. It is something, it is not I'm talking about a one company or a two company. It is what the world is showing. It is something greater than 2 million. Just imagine. And when I talk about the Active Directory, the most important where none of an organization or IT team can work. It is something Active Directory which is the main and the most important thing. If a company is planning to open an IT team, it is something they have to put a domain, and that particular domain is running on Azure with around 350 million users. Just imagine, it is nothing but having more than 18 billion of Azure Active Directory authentication which goes on. Means where hybrid connectivity comes into an action, database being lying in an on-premise and applications being on cloud. Just user try to authenticate to Cloud Active Directory, and the authentication is made with the secure form and with a well-defined manner. Just make you note, when you talk about moving your users to cloud from your on-premise, never your password moves to cloud. Only your user identity moves to the cloud. So it is something I was just wanted to show what command Azure is having in terms of other cloud vendors, and how we basically differentiate, how Azure differentiate with your on-premise data center. As I told, it is something an enterprise grade, having an hyper-scalability option with a best well-defined hybrid connectivity. I can assure, if you go and look around different cloud vendors, they also provide hybrid connectivity. I will never let's ignore that. Okay, I will say that okay, this is the vendor who do not provide hybrid connectivity. Yes, they provide. To stay in a market they have to, but here you get a hybrid connectivity with just single 5 to 6 clicks. When I talk about other cloud vendor, you have to struggle a lot. You have to go and configure a lot of things, a hard work to be implemented, a lot defined good, I mean to say a wonderful, I mean to say a hard work. When I say a layers of implementation, a well talented person should work out. And when I talk about hybrid on Azure, it is something even a layman can perform for you with a 2 hours of training. That's it. When I talk about enterprise grade platform, it is something Azure tries to keep and tries to put himself in terms of all running enterprise applications. There are cloud vendors who says, God, we only take open source, we only limited to that. It is something here you can have an enterprise grade. And as I talked about, the most and the important thing, scalability, high availability. Today you want a service to be started, you want services to be put alongside what you want. Whatever your requirement is, Azure makes it. If you want a high availability feature only for 2 hours, you can. So basically companies do, if they want to take up a data, they open offices in India and US. They keep India data center as a disaster recovery center. So just again you are investing 2 times. Just have your US data center and try to have another data center running on cloud. Just seamless replication you can set out. Within a second your data gets transmitted from one portion to other portion. So when I talk about, it's a hyper scalability option what Azure provides you, and again I will say it would be a well-defined solution. And when I talk about Azure, how it differentiates, we have around 22 data centers opened this month. And you can just how network access is all about. If you want to host any region of around the globe to just to manage your latency, just you want to have a load balance, if you have an application which is something which is utilized by your US customers as well as the Indian customer, just host it in a US customer and avoid your latency. Just host it. So when I talk about Azure data center, it is something globally distributed and fully managed by Microsoft. So just imagine what that data center should be look like. I can say when you talk about the two major cloud vendors sitting in the market, they only club together and are having 15 in number. And Azure itself alone is having 22, and it is still progressing a good, it is still progressing well and trying to accompany a full globe. When I say the servers are in the data centers are clusters of thousands of servers, and just for all the pluggable units, when I say there is something full power redundancy, high speed internet connectivity into the inter data center and intra data center. When I say you cannot imagine the speed of network, it is something 30,000 Gbps connectivity which works in and around in Azure data center. So when I say it's a triple redundant data storage and geo replication, suppose you opt a storage on a cloud, it automatically get backed up to other regions of around the globe. I mean today two other data center. It is something it's like free of cost. You only opt one storage and you are already getting a copy and a backup just to make your applications highly available, just to make your application work around the way you want. So it is something high power and water efficiency servers, and that's it's like it only runs a Microsoft Windows Server 2012. Means it is not like Microsoft is also providing, it is running its own products. Even full private cloud using System Center Suite has been established. So just imagine when I talk about, I keep on saying cloud computing, cloud computing. The world is keep on saying cloud computing, cloud computing. It is what I basically mean to say. It is something. It is a full technology is built. There are lakhs of users who just access a cloud portal and place a request. Just imagine what would be the technology running behind. Just user clicks it and it reaches throughout the globe. So when we talk about, it is something which is something of technology lying behind. We have a technology came with a mainframe system. We came with a technology where we started mobile applications and development. We are moving towards a cloud technology which is coming for cloud computing, Internet of Things, machine learning, analytics, software of chips. So it is something each and technology is moving towards and focusing on cloud. And when I talk about each data center, as I told, there are 22 data centers. Each data center buildings are about equal to one football field size. I'm talking about just only one reason data center building. One reason, one data center, one building is equal to one football field size, which is easily able to accommodate two jumbo jet planes. Just imagine what would be the size of that particular data center, which can accommodate two jumbo jet planes. I am again saying I'm talking about one reason, one data center, one building which is equal to one football site can land up to two jumbo jet planes. And when I talk each reason company is equal to a 16 building, where I can say directly you can accommodate 32 jumbo jet planes. Just imagine the size of data center. Just imagine they are running 6 lakh servers in each Azure data center. Why I am so interested, and I would like to showcase you this particular thing, because this is what they have implemented. This is not what Microsoft is saying that they have think in the last night and they told, okay, we have to open this Azure. It is something which has taken a prolonged years to work on. It is something they have invested. It is something they bought up a technology. It is something, just imagine running 6 lakh servers in each region, and just imagine there are 22 regions running around. So how broad access it is having, how you can accommodate your resources, how you can play with your resources. You have a lot of things you can work around. And as I have already told, Azure is something I will like to spend some time on this particular slide, because whenever anyone is planning to move to cloud, it is something they focus on what would be the costing, sir, if I move to cloud. So cloud is something, it works on pay only for what you use. Now just imagine, I would like to give you a brief scenario. So suppose I'm talking about a one server which is running in your own on-premises. I'm talking about a single server which is having a 4 CPU core processor, which is having a 4 GB of RAM and a 1 TB of hard disk. If you go into a market and club around, you'll be getting something around 2 lakhs rupees. And what would be a good lifespan of a server? I don't think so. It would be something 10 or a 15 years. Okay. So you have only invested the 2 lakhs to install a server, to get a resource. To get a resource. When I say to get a resource, you have only invested the 2 lakhs for entire 15 years. What you are basically doing now? You have opted a resource, you have kept a resource in your on premises. You cannot keep it anywhere, right? You will have to establish a well-defined infrastructure. You have to provide maintenance. You have to install software licenses. You have to pay to your employees. Again, there will be an L1 layer of employees, L2 layer of employees, L3 layer of employees, and the head and the lead. You have that server would be consuming electricity bill. And the most important thing, today if you bought a server for 1 TB, you gradually start filling the spaces. Today you will fill it 1 GB, tomorrow you fill it 5 GB, and gradually you move on. And you expected this 10 GB to be full, 1 TB to be full within 10 years. It's like, if you just consider, you are spending, it has been survey which is defined that you only get a resource for your data center, you only invest 10%. You maintain those resources spending 90. And when I talk on cloud, you save that 90%. I'm not talking about boss. It's something we are giving you 10%, 20%, 30% in off. It's like something you are getting 90%. When I talk about cloud, you just have to have a student. Just assume, cloud. If you are today using 1 GB, you have to pay only for 1 GB. Tomorrow you are using 10 GB, you have to pay only for 10 GB. Again you are using for 1 GB, you have to pay only for 1 GB. That is way the cloud behave. That is the way. It's like, just imagine you can have your 500 GB on cloud, and as I told, with 2 replicas kept on different Azure data center, and you can easily get that storage at just 300 rupees a month. Just imagine. When I talk about this particular server which you are costing 2 lakhs, you can get this particular server in a cloud. Just you can run with all your license and then the software or any platform at a cost of 6 rupees per hour. So there are no upfront costs. There no need to buy any of the licenses, nothing. Just you have to opt for a resources. If you are running for your website for 24 hours, or I mean to say 22 hours, you have to pay only for those 22 hours. If that particular application is using in 24 hours, as you said about your auto scalability feature, and for 2 hours it's only popped up another instance just to manage your own load which you have provided, it is something you have to pay only for those 2 hours extra particular cost for instances. And when I talk about with other customers, it is something what Azure plays, it is per pay per minute granularity. It's like not an hourly basis. When I talk about other cloud vendors, it is something they focus on the hourly basis or something like. There are vendors which says, boss, if you're using a machine for 1 hour 10 minutes, you have to pay for 2 hours. When I say Azure cloud, it is something you have to pay only for 1 hour 10 minutes. And just I will close it by saying that when I talk about clouds in terms of cost, it is something, there are a lot of subscription, there are a lot of different pay scale offerings provided by Microsoft, and you have really get a great discounts here. You can opt for an MSDN credit where you get again a good number of discount if you opt for an EA services. So there are different mode of subscription. It's again your wish what subscription you wish for. So that's what I basically try to present it today. It is something I would like to enhance the skills, basically what is cloud is all about, what basically cloud computing is, and I try to explain you all what basically Azure is and what this Microsoft Azure wants to explain to the business market. So just moving ahead, I would like to hand over to Jyoti for some couple of things.
Thank you, Ashish Sharma. We're extremely sorry for those who couldn't connect to the session. We will be sharing the webinar video on YouTube and on our official site. We'll email you the details after the session. We apologize for the inconvenience caused. So now we will go ahead and take some time for questions. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the conversation box in your left Skype control panel. Okay, it looks like we have a question from Sandeep. The question is, please explain usage of Visual Studio Team services using Azure.
Okay. Hi Sandeep. So it is like that. Yes, you have a Visual Studio VSTS implementation and Azure is already integrated with. You can have a VSTS service. You can opt it on a cloud in terms of VSO. Now, which they have already renamed it as a VSTS. Previously, it was known as a Visual Studio Online. Now it has become a VSTS. So it's a very good option for a developers. They can directly build their code on that VSTS environment. They can directly publish to the Azure cloud using a publish profile, or they can directly push it to the cloud service. It's like they can play in and around on a visual VSTS itself. The good and the most important thing with VSTS came up with, suppose you have your own VSTS account and you have linked that particular account with an Azure and you are seamlessly working on Azure. Now you have that VSTS account which you can which users might go home and try to access because it is running on a cloud. If they provide their domain users and password, they can easily log in. But where in Azure, there is something said to be as a conditional actions provided by Azure Active Directory Premium. You can just disable the user saying that in a network basis. When I say user can come up to a specific LAN, user can come up to a specific network, only they would be allowed to access their VSTS account. If they are outside the office network, they could not. So it just resolves a lot of security issues, because when you talk about VSTS, it is something where the actual production deployment goes on. Again, when I talk about the other case, that is something you include with your dev test environment, what I mean to the testing environment. Companies are afraid of providing resources in terms of servers for a testing team. So when I say you can have a good way, Azure has already provided a dev test subscription. I mean to say dev test lab, where you can really go and set up your own dev testing environment, push your servers, try it out, delete it. So it would be a good solution for the developers point of view.
Yeah, hi Sandeep. I hope this answers your query regarding the VSTS. If any of the other participants have any more questions or concerns about the topic, please type in your questions in the control panel. Okay, we have one more question over here. It's from Mr. Dinesh Kumar. How exactly is AD integrated with Azure?
Okay, Dinesh. So when I talk about Azure Active Directory. So it is something AAD which you can opt for on Azure. So it is something, suppose you have your own custom application and you are running your applications on cloud. So you basically obviously want to authenticate those applications via your Azure account. So it's not like you'll every time go and create new users. It is something those applications are being used by your on-premise users. So just you can rather you go and dump and create an Active Directory domain for high availability and all, you can integrate by doing some DERSing. So there are tools using DERSing, and like that you can directly transfer the users to Azure and you can make the authentication possible. Even you can opt a VM to create an Active Directory and you can connect in a hybrid mode. And the most important thing, whenever you talk about and using a domain users to cloud, you might be afraid of. Yeah, I really appreciate Vinod Sangal who has already provided me. I was talking about DerSync and AAD tool which makes it possible. So it's like the good thing about in terms of security, it is something only the username and details are moved on cloud. When you talk about integrating an Azure AD, it is something password still resides on your on-premise.
Thank you, Sandeep. Our next question is from Muthukumaran. What factors do we need to consider to move our project to Azure?
So when I talk about moving the projects to Azure, so it's something, if your application is something which requires a high availability scenario or it is fully dependent on a scalability mode. So when I talk about it is something which is intermediate, it is something you cannot expect how much load that application would be. You cannot expect something, okay, till 1 hour it would be this much, after 10 hours it would be nothing. So if you have so drastic changes in your application, it would be a good project to move it on Azure, because it becomes very difficult to maintain it, even to manage it. If the application can be supported by one server, still it is something you invest two servers and push it. But in cloud, whenever you require, you can scale it. And the other term, when you suppose we are in a scenario, if we deploy a one application and we want to push it to all the clients, suppose it's a mobile application, you want it to push to Windows, Android, Apple. So it is something from one point space itself, you can publish your application and you can push that particular application to different client OS. So it is something which all kind of projects you can push to Azure.
So looks like we're running short of time. So we'll take a last question by Mr. Das. How billing process works in Azure? Is, is it time basis or it depends upon how much storage or process used? Is there any trial environment?
So as I already discussed, Dash, it is something it is something pay per minute model. So when I talk about if you are opting for a servers on Azure, it is something, if you are running your server for 2 minutes, you have to just pay for 2 minutes. If you are opting a storage for 2 GB, you have to pay only for 2 GB. It is something pay only go model. Whatever usage you are there, no upfront cost. Today, if you don't want the server, just remove it. You will not be charged anything. And yes, we have a trial environment available. So if you want to opt, just you can go and you can log into an azure.microsoft.com and you can opt for a free trial account, and you can have a 1 month free trial and you can enjoy and test it out Azure services.
Thank you, Darsh. Okay, one more question by Mr. Swagat Chalukya. What advantages Azure has over AWS?
Okay, I was not really interested in taking a name of AWS, as I already told. In my beginning of the scenario in first session, I am little bit afraid to use the other cloud competitor's name. But still, I would like to answer. There are a couple of things, as I already told. When I talk about AWS in front, it is something it charges for hourly basis. It's like if you're running a machine for 1 hour, 10 minutes, you have to pay for still 2 hours, but it is not on Azure. In Azure, it is if you're opting for 1 hour, 10 minutes, you have to only pay for 1 hour, 10 minutes. Just imagine how much difference it will create working on AWS and Azure. The good thing in Azure, it is something you can set up for your hybrid connectivity. When I say hybrid connectivity, it really lacks in Azure. And the last and the most important point, Azure is something which is for Microsoft, and 90% of the industry runs Microsoft product. So it's easy to integrate Windows to Windows, Microsoft to Microsoft product. It becomes a very difficult to mix Microsoft with Amazon. That's it.
Thank you, Swagat, for your question. Any more questions?
Okay, Sandeep has please elaborate more on Active Directory Premium. So, it's Active Directory Premium is an additional services where you have to again you can opt for an Azure per user basis, and as I talked about conditional access services. To opt for that conditional access services, you require an Active Directory Premium. It is something nothing but it provides an extra security layer. It's add an extra security layer, and there are a lot of things you can allow an application in a particular IP, you can disallow, you can set up a multi-factor authentication. So there are again varied options in terms of mostly the conditional access, user management, where actually Azure AD Premium plays a role.
Thank you, Sandeep. Okay, we have one last question from Ms. Asha. What is the year-on-year investment on MS on Azure infrastructure to make it better?
Okay, Asha. So yes, year by year, Azure is really progressing well. As I told, if it's again depend what resources you are opting for. It again depends what you want to consume on Azure. It is something if you want only a website to be running, yes, it can easily be run on Azure, paying a 2,000 a month or a 1,500 a month. So it's all depend what basically you want to run. And when you talk about profit sharing of Azure, it is something with other cloud vendors. Microsoft has really tried, and it has bet on Azure, and it is really moving 60% profit from last 2 years. So it's something what you use, you pay. It is not there's limit you can have in investing. It's like what service you want to opt for.
Thank you, Asha. So looks like we're running out of our time. And for more of your queries, we would be emailing your questions. And since now we have covered all the questions, our next topic for the upcoming webinar would be Microsoft Azure Compute Services. We will be sharing the webinar details with you all shortly. If you have any more technical questions, kindly drop an email to ashish.sharma@ecanries.com, and any sales related queries to sales@ecanries.com. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.